I like how it asked me if I want to leave the group or if I want to stay. Because before it was just record.
Yeah, remember you're consenting to being recorded, which
The way you said it made me like have second thoughts. I'm like, am I though? Do I want to do that? Okay,
well,
I'll be here.
okay, good. I'm glad that I've somehow convinced you to do this podcast 20 times.
20 times you're lying.
I'm not. This is episode 20.
Yeah, I feel like we should do some special confetti.
You know, Zoom has like filters, right? That's why people are showing up as like cats and stuff, or is that on your
And
computer?
potatoes and stuff like that. They have filters.
Where are they?
I don't know.
Gotcha.
I'm not well versed in Zoom. I admit that I started going out in the world instead of having Zoom parties.
Ooh, I put a heart in the corner of my screen. Did you see that? There's reactions there. I guess you're on your phone, so it's gonna be a little different. Oh, I changed it to a party thing.
Oh, wait, there we go.
There we go.
I did that to celebrate.
Yeah, that's our celebration. Oh, but it then disappears. Whack.
That's good. So we can celebrate for a little bit and then we can move on. I like that.
Or just whenever we feel like it.
Pew, pew, pew.
Okay,
in case you're not good with facial expression.
I'm not good at emojis. I'll say that. I'm somebody who I'm not like super comfortable throwing them in casually in conversation. And when they're thrown to me, I'm not like, I have a tough time, interpreting them or whatever. Yeah.
You know what? You don't really send me emojis. Now that you say that, I realize you don't. Whereas I am very emoji heavy. I am emoji heavy. Whatever I'm feeling, or if I'm just like, hi, I'm sending you a face that I feel like looks like the face that I was making when I sent you the hi. Right. I'm sending hearts. I'm sending all kinds of faces. I like my emojis because I feel like otherwise my text tone might sound like dry or dull. Like people are like, oh, she's like, oh, do you want to go to the store with me? But really, I'm like, you want to go to the mall? I want to convey that with more than just like an exclamation point.
So you're self-conscious about your text messaging, you're saying a little bit.
I guess a little bit. I want to make sure that people know my tone. Because I know there's been times when people text me and I was just like, they have an attitude. And it wasn't so much they had an attitude, but it was just like, the way you were reading the message. So I want to make sure people are reading it like happy fun, the way I was trying to say it.
That happens to me all the time. I feel like that people, think that I'm mad in text messages, but I'm just sending facts. With a period at the end.
I feel like now, like I read your text messages in like Jacob voice, like, hi,
Daniella. That's good.
I read it in like happy fun Jacob voice. Like, it's 11 p.m. and you're slightly tipsy. I feel like that's the best way to go. Just assume people are happy until you find out that they're not.
Well, usually when people text you, like people want to communicate they're in a good mood, I mean, unless it's like about work or something, but you don't get a lot of work texts in general.
No. Or like if things have gotten tense, where you talking about a touchy subject, where you like, did you just cancel on their birthday party? Are they like, what is it? What are you talking about? If it's something sad, then okay. Like, oh man, I'm sorry I can't go to your birthday party. I stubbed my toe. And they won't be like, oh, it's great. Unless they invited too many people. And now that you're not coming, it's perfect amount of people.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's true. It can convey some sense of sadness. There's definitely times where with text messaging, like texts will build up and I get stressed out. I'm like, I have to respond to these people, or am I not responding fast enough?
I can relate to that for real, because some people they'll like hit you with a barrage of text messages and it's just like it gets to be a bit overwhelming because you're going through your daily life and you're getting these text messages. You're not just like always going to be sitting on the couch
Right.
texting people. I have one friend where she does not need you to reply. She will keep sending the messages, and you will like walk out of the grocery store and you have like 15 missed messages and they're like long. And I'm just like, it gets to be a little daunting. Like, oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack here. But she's a good friend, so you just sit down and I reply. But it's like when you first
Right.
see those messages, you're just like, F it, just throwing the phone away. It's too much to read. It's too much. There's a whole paragraph here. I can't do all this. I'm in the car. Because really, if it's more than I can read at a light, you should call me.
uh There's people, I mean, so you definitely get to be like have an understanding with your friends. Like you were saying, like with me, you read it in a certain tone. With this one friend, you just give her sort of like this benefit of the doubt. And she, if she is your friend too, understands that she's sending you these long text messages and shouldn't have this expectation that you're gonna reply right away, right? Like
Yeah, no, she
yeah,
knows it
yeah.
takes time.
So, and most people get that. So everybody's kind of got their own way with it. And I think it's something that we're still sort of figuring out to a degree, because it is new way of communicating, just typing, to each
Yeah,
other. Um,
yeah.
I mean, I remember when text messaging first came out and I was like, I kind of thought to myself, like, who's going to do this? Like, why? It's just tedious. And when you could
Especially
just call,
especially in the beginning. Oh,
right.
so you remember when it was like press the 1 3 times just to find the letter, like
Yes, there's a
hi.
name for that. I can't remember what that kind of texting is
Was
called.
it cue to read text or
I'm looking
something?
it up because it's bugging me.
It
T9.
T9. We are not going back to that.
Yeah, no,
Like
T9 that'd suck.
I thought that was annoying. I think regular text messaging is irritating. Like I sometimes will do talk to speech, but it messes up and you gotta go back. But like, yeah, that was super. And back then, it was super annoying, but it also cost money. Like you're paying like
Yeah,
10 cents per text message.
yeah. That was happening. I got pretty fast at T9. I remember that. Just being like, hitting the thing 3 times. You kind of gotta get a rhythm going.
Well, that's because teenagers, any new form of technology, teenagers are gonna master it.
Uh,
They're like, if it's talking to my friends, I'll get it down. Don't worry.
yeah, I mean, for kids and stuff. I mean, I did have a cell phone in high school, but for some reason it wasn't because like it was because my dad was kind of a technology geek as an engineer and things, so we did tend to get like some kind of gadget, but it wasn't like a nice version or anything, and nobody else had a cell phone except for my best childhood friend growing up. He also for some reason had a cell phone. His family was poor as fuck, but he got a cell phone. So it was just me and him. But then like other people would call our cell phones from their home phones, and our cell phones were like always ringing. And I remember being like 17 and we were like, dude, this is so annoying. Like, can we just leave these here today? Because our friends could just hit us up whenever, and they were annoying. Like we were like sick of them, like being able to call
Not
us whenever they could. I was like,
because
this is
they knew you were home. And then the thing is, you don't want to have to deal with people's parents when you call. You want to just talk to your friend, like
that's
calling
such a
people's
weird thing.
homes and like, oh, can I talk to Jacob? Hold on, Jacob, your friend's on the phone. Like,
I mean,
man.
I lived in communal houses where people, and I didn't even have a cell phone at times, and we had a landline, and your friends would answer like for you or whatever, whoever was by the phone would answer, and
Uh-huh.
you would call too and like ask for girls you liked on the other line, and there's sort of like friends on the phone picking up. How awkward.
It is awkward. It is awkward. Oh man. I remember the most awkward one when I was in high school. I called this guy. I don't know what was up with his cell phone, but he gave me a cell phone number and his home phone. And I think his cell phone was dead or something. So I called his home and his name was Rodney. And his like mom answered the phone. And then she's like, Rodney, there's a girl on the phone. Who's this girl? And then like his sister picked up the phone and she was like, who's this? I'm like, it's Daniela. Can I talk to Rodney? And she's like, I don't know. He in the other room. I don't know if he's asleep or not. Hold on. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm speaking to his whole family. I just wanted to have a little conversation because I thought he was cute.
Yeah.
So awkward. I'm happy about cell phones now, though. Could you imagine, especially with all these people that have moved back home for COVID? You're like, hi, can I speak to Jason?
Did you wait? So back to the Rodney story really quick. Do you remember? Did you get to talk to Rodney?
I did not. I did not get to talk to him. I spent all this time like on the phone with like
Because he
his
was
mother.
asleep?
I don't know where he was. I don't know where he was, but like his mom was on the phone and she was like kind of like, you could tell she had to like, who's this girl calling my phone? Who's this little girl calling for my son? And she's like, where did you meet him? What's your name? Do you go to his? I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm getting like the 10th degree over here. And I just wanted to have a phone call. And his mom was like, he may have been home, but she just may have just like not wanted to give him the phone because she clearly was not feeling me call their phone. I was like, this is so, and she had so much attitude. Like, oh my God. Never. I think that was the last time I called the boys home, other than like one of my guy friends. That was like, yeah, that was my last time calling the guys home. Never again.
How traumatizing.
It was. And I'm a little shy. So yeah, no. I'm like, this is it. I'm never dating again. This is it. I'm done.
No wonder you're so awkward on the dating sites. You're just nervous that mom's going to jump in the chat.
I am. You never know. Someone's mother might be on there like, my son's a good boy. You should talk to him. He has a job and he has a cat.
You know what's interesting, actually, now, we're talking about the texting and how we don't like typing sometimes, but that's how people out in the streets are meeting these days romantically. Like, you look at a photo and you type, you don't talk for maybe weeks, right? Your whole conversation is the chat back and forth, and it's these like picked sentences, and people's personalities are different over text because you don't respond in the moment, right? When you're talking, or like we're talking right now, it's like boom, boom, boom. Like texting, you like type something and then you like think about it and you erase half of it and rewrite and talking.
Yeah, you have time to perfect what you want to say and really make it eloquent and nice. Because I've had some people where I was messaging them on the site, but I like to have a phone conversation quite quickly because you get a lot more details out in a phone conversation. But I'll have times where I'm messaging someone, they seem very eloquent and nice, but then we're talking on the phone and they're like, yeah. Yeah, this is like a specific time. Like this guy, like after everything he said, like he would laugh. I'm like, are you high? Like, what's up? Like, I was like, so, like, did you have a good day? Yeah. And I'm just like, okay. And I was like, oh, so yeah, you said you went like skateboarding. He was like, yeah. Skateboarding with my friends. And I'm just like, what is going on here? It was so awkward. And I'm just like, do you want me to call you back? Like, are you doing? Oh no, I'm good. I want to talk. Yeah.
Your face have been so dead on. I haven't met this guy, but.
Oh God, you'll never meet him. I just had this one conversation. I was just like, no. And I'm like, I was thinking, like, is he high? Is that why he's laughing so much? Am I doing something funny? Is he like, are we talking? Is it a joke? Is this like 10 things, like what 10 things I hate about you or something? Like your friend paid you to talk to me and now they're like over there laughing about it. Had every like scenario run through my mind, but I'm just like, okay, this is it. Dude, I was like, okay, well, let me call you later. After like 15 minutes of the, it was really good. I made pasta. What is so funny? And then it all started with a yeah. Yeah. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, maybe because of COVID, you haven't had a lot of conversations or something, but this is awkward. This is awkward.
That's freaking hilarious.
But even on like the other side of it, I don't, like I said, I don't really like messaging. I don't really like texting. So even going back and forth, part of the reason why I'll try to have a phone conversation as soon as possible is because I kind of lose interest in the messaging. I don't really know you, so you haven't really sparked my interest, like other than like, oh, he's kind of cute and his bio seems witty. But in
Uh,
order to keep it going, I need to have like a conversation with you, not just like a first date via messages.
that makes sense. Because otherwise, you're kind of just like, and a lot of people are doing this, I'm sure, but you're sort of making a lot of assumptions about the other person and maybe just building them up to be something that you want in your head, as opposed to what they
Exactly.
maybe really are, you know?
Exactly. Because you're not really, you might get some details through text messages, but it's not nearly as much as you get from a 1, 2 hour phone conversation. Oh, where do you work? Oh, do you like your job? How's your coworkers? What do you like to do on the weekend? Oh, what's the last book you read? That, just even those questions, that's all the questions you ask in a day.
Right.
But I just asked those in like 5 minutes. So yeah. And then people can, if you haven't actually talked to them or seen them, they can make themselves whoever they want you to think they are.
Yeah, that's true too. People are definitely, I mean, and texting in general, everybody's kind of, upon that first reaction, everybody's kind of fronting, because they're trying to get your attention or whatever they're doing. So they're not even really being themselves. They're being like, you know, trying to impress. And that's not real.
It's not real. And that even happens with in-person dating for like the first few months. People are kind of putting their best foot forward. It
Yeah,
takes some
yeah.
time to get to know someone to see who they really are. 'Cause everyone's like, I'm going to hide the crazy until she's invested. Gonna
Right.
let it slip when it's too late for her.
Yeah, it's how it is. But then, that you see, like on the other hand, I hear what you're saying and I agree with you. And I think most people generally, if they really search their souls, feel the same way about it. But you see so much chatter on the internet with like people saying things like, oh, a person called me, like who even does that these days? Just send a text like a normal person. These are like kind of normal memes that you see around, and they sort of, people like age you because you like prefer to call and stuff. And I have had people even say that to me, or you hear that in people's answering machines sometimes. Like if you call them, their like voice message back to you is like, you can leave a message or you can send a text like a normal person or whatever. It's like, really? Okay.
Yeah. And there are those people out there and they're like, oh yeah, everyone texts now, no one talks on the phone. And it's like, that's fine if that's what you like, if you are just a text person. Because I've dated some people before where they're like, I do not call. And that one guy, it was kind of like a breaking point. So I'm like, I haven't talked to you in like 5 days. Like, we've just been texting. And I'm like, that's just weird. And then if I did talk to him on the phone, like he got into the habit of starting to call me, but we'd have like 10-minute conversations, like
Hmm.
nothing being said. I'm like, okay, if we can't really talk to each other, this isn't really going anywhere. If you don't really enjoy talking to me,
Right.
this can't go anywhere. So, and yeah. So if you're one of those people that just likes to text, get with another person that just likes to text and it'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like that's cool if you guys are seeing each other in person. If you guys are seeing each other in person like every other day, a little text message to keep things going in between is fine. But if you guys are working busy schedules and you're like, all right, I won't see you until the weekend, you should talk.
I have a suspicious feeling that, what we're discussing right now is kind of contributing to like the lower birth rates around the world in a lot of technologically advanced countries, and the fact that people are having like less sex, like the younger generations, like people turning 18, teenagers compared to us apparently are like less sexually active and stuff. And I think it's because we put this communication barrier, this technology between us, so it's sort of like harder to bust through that, to make that connection, to get it
I
done
can see that.
these
I
days.
can see that because it's like people don't just, well, I still have people that will like walk up to me on the street and be like, hey, you cute girl, and
Uh,
get a phone number. But I feel like it doesn't happen as much as it used to now. And even people will put an even larger barrier between you and trying to talk to you. Or like guys might want to talk to me, but they'll start off with, oh, instead of just asking for my phone number so they can talk to me, they'll ask for my Instagram. And
Uh-huh.
then they'll follow my Instagram and maybe they'll like my pictures for a little bit. And then they'll send me a DM like, oh yeah, I think you're cute. Can I get your phone number? I'd like to take you out sometime. Are you free this weekend? And it's like, you could have just, I kind of knew that that was why you approached me. Cause like, we're
Right.
not, maybe we had like a little conversation at the grocery store, but I know you're not like really into my food recipes, you know?
Right, for sure.
Like, okay. But like, yeah, that's just like another layer and it put in more time and
Totally.
more chances for someone to be like, oh no, you, but I get it. It is hard hitting on someone. Rejection is tough. So I can
Totally.
understand that, but like,
It's funny about the Instagram thing because it's like, yo, yeah, I want to take you on a date, but hold up really quick. Before we do that, let's send Mark Zuckerberg some of our data for like a couple weeks, and send it to like big
exactly,
money data corporation, and then we can get together. It's like, what the heck? At
exactly,
least you got a
exactly.
couple likes on your photos out of the thing first. Or like
Exactly. And
so
it's just a
messed
little
up.
odd. It's just
Totally.
a little bit odd, especially if like it's obvious. So the other day I was at the Grove and I was going to meet up with some people and I was like, I was on the go. And this guy was like, hey, he like grabbed my hand, he like stopped me. He was like, oh my gosh, you're like so pretty, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. But he didn't, he was clearly hitting on me and he was like, oh, I want to take you out. But he didn't even ask for the phone number. He was just like, let me follow you on social media. It's just like, okay, you can follow me. Here's my social media.
Totally.
All right,
You
I
and
gotta
the
go.
rest of the, right. And then it's awkward too because you go on people's social media and I mean I just remember this from the past and you're like you can see all the other dudes who are interested in you, right? Because it's like there's like 4 or 5 people, it's always the same profiles commenting on your photos kind of in a similar way. So there's like this group involvement of like one uppance and then like who are you responding to, the other people can see that as well, and it's like this whole fucking
Yes,
game that's out there. And I don't participate in that anymore, because that all that what I just described is like horrifying to me and I just like don't want to play like that in that arena. That's how it is.
yeah. And then it's especially like whenever you post a new picture, it's like it never fails. Whenever I post a new picture, because I need to get better about it, but I don't post a lot. So whenever I do post a new picture, all the old ones come out of the woodworks. I start getting all these DMs, and I'm like, they're like, "Oh hey, how you been doing? What's up? You look good. Where did you go?" And I'm just like, so I posted this new picture and you remember that I look good and you're just like, let me try it one more time. Cause it's like, it's this one guy never fails. Whenever I post a new picture, he tries to slide them in DMs, tries to set up a new date. And it's like, when you tried that like 2 months ago, it didn't work out. It's not going to work out this time either. Like, come on, come on. And then I can look at your page and I can see you just took this girl to Yard House. Like, come on, you messy. You messy. I feel like
That's
sometimes
hilarious.
people forget. It goes both ways. I can see your page too.
No, totally right. It's just a very dangerous place to navigate, and people make so many assumptions about each other based on what is in that social media, for sure. And how can you not? Because people are presenting themselves there. So, that's what it's there for. It's just, it's still in the young stages, I think, and that's why I think that there's a possibility there that people can make better connections, but we haven't quite figured it out yet. We're not like on the intelligence level to really work in our benefit, it seems like at this point.
Yeah, it's just another layer, another wall in between us. Because like you said, people are just showing their best selves on Instagram. It kind of Instagram maybe in the beginning had like that recklessness of early Facebook, but
Mm.
not as bad. Because early Facebook, we just photo dump all the stuff. It's all out there for the world to see. We've cleaned up Facebook. A lot of people have cleaned up their Facebook pages since then, but Instagram, it's just out of the 200 pictures that you took on your vacation, you're showing 5, maybe
Right.
just 3.
Right.
And it's like sunset, new things are on the horizon. Looking forward to Mike and myself, my best self in 2021. Like,
Totally. Facebook
perfectly
is like
curated caption.
Facebook is kind of like a LinkedIn at this point,
Honestly,
and then and
honestly,
Instagram is kind of like Facebook at this point. Yes,
yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
has to be this land of like inspirational, like best self, like at your height, and it's just sort of like this monotonous line of that. There's not really a lot of room for, I don't know,
Reality.
yeah, reality or
There's
yeah,
there's not a lot of reality on Instagram. It's like photoshopped, airbrushed, and then it's like all these people that, man, with some of these explore pages, you would think if you haven't got a BBL, you're either waiting for your BBL or like you're choosing to be like your body positive or something. But it's this one explore page I follow. It's just like all the girls. All right, here's my new BBL. Here's my video documenting my BBL. Me and my best friend just got back from getting our BBLs. And it's just like, whoa.
is
So
that a for our listeners? Can you tell them what a BBL is?
it's a Brazilian butt lift. So
Uh,
what they do is they take the fat from your stomach and they put it in your booty. So you can get a BBL in America, but they're limited to the amount of fat they're allowed to put into your butt. So if you go to another country to get it done, you can get a whole bunch of fat put in your butt and you can get a whole bunch of fat put in your hips. So you get that Kim Kardashian hip booty look. So
it makes me shudder just like hearing you describe it.
yeah, it's intense. And then now they're like pretty affordable for plastic surgery. You can get one for like 4 or 5,000, especially if you go overseas. Still kind of risky going overseas, but a lot of people do it. A lot of people come back and they live and they just have humongous booties now. But yeah, it's like making it feel like, oh, they're normalizing plastic surgery, which is good. If you want to look how you want to look, go ahead and do it. You got the money, girl, go and look however you want to look. As long as it's safe, go ahead and do it. You're over 18, go ahead and do it. But I feel like it's kind of changing people's perceptions of what they should look like. When everyone on your explore page has one of these BBL bodies with this snatched waist and big old booty, you're like, oh man, I can't even post my pictures. I haven't got my BBL yet. It's just like, oh man.
I
But
agree, and
it's not really reality of what most people look like. For these Instagram girls, it's an investment. I'm posting these pictures, I'm getting more likes if I look like a Kylie Jenner. But like, regular people, oh, I'm going to Santa Barbara with the girls. It's a different kind of vibe. It's a different kind of vibe. And then you want more likes on your pictures. You want all that stuff. So you want to like, maybe I should get one too.
I mean, the fact is I don't fuck around on Instagram, but I am on TikTok. I have a couple of TikTok accounts, and that is like a human wasteland as well. I mean, there's some okay stuff, but for the most part, it's girls who are way too young, being, I hate to use the word, but just doing super slutty stuff on there. And it is like it's just a bunch of sad men giving them likes or whatever, and it's not a positive space, it's like a sad, horrifying, uneducated wasteland. um
See, that one thing I do like about TikTok is you can like curate your page to be whatever you kind of like want it to be. I did see my
mm,
page, it was starting to take a turn kind of towards what you were talking about, but then I consciously stopped liking those videos. And then as soon as one would pop up, I would hurry up and like flash away from it. And I noticed over time it stopped suggesting those videos for me. But it was like, yeah, some of the ones were like, I do not want to see a 15-year-old girl doing the WAP challenge. No,
right.
she should not. The little girl should not be doing that. Like, okay, if you like a grown but if you two little girls in booty shorts doing the WAP challenge. No. And it's probably is like you say, probably a lot of middle-aged dudes. Like it's probably a lot of kids liking it, but there's good chance it's a lot of dudes that should not be seeing that. And
Right.
then they had, which is kind of questionable too. They can curate their page to all they're seeing are these high school girls posting bikini pics.
Right.
Whereas like mine, somehow I like mostly I'm on BTS TikTok. So I'm mostly seeing BTS
Yeah.
videos, reaction videos, people telling me BTS news. But I'm also somehow in lesbian TikTok, which I don't know how I got there, but it's good. They have some really great videos. They have some great things. It's interesting. I'm learning new things. But it's like all off of what you like. And then I just really, if you see some questionable stuff, flip away. Flip away.
Yeah.
I like that. I do like that they listen to you.
Yes.
But even with the BTS TikTok, I saw that things were going into like a negative place because there are a lot of people inside the fandom that are like, oh, how dare you sexualize these men? Like
Right.
they didn't ask that, which is like he is soaked in water, wearing a white shirt, slow grinding on the ground. But okay, we are sexualizing him. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you guys, don't do that. You know, they're young. The youngest one is 23.
Yeah, they're
The
not young
oldest
anymore.
one is 29. These are grown men. And people will really be on there like, oh, I can't take the toxicness of this fandom. You guys are making them into like sexual icons. I'm like, we do or did you wake up looking that fine and people are just saying he looks fine? Like,
Right.
okay.
Plus
Okay.
BTS, I mean, these guys are, obviously the biggest rock star, pop stars in the world at the moment. People like that, it's not like they don't know what's going on. They're not dumb. They're all intelligent guys. They want to be hot. They're dressing up. They got fashion.
There we
The
go.
dudes are wearing makeup. I mean, that's like a sexy thing in Korea for men. Like, yeah, their dancing is sexy.
And it's like, okay, it's nothing wrong with people being attractive and someone saying that they're attractive.
Right.
People, of course, there's always going to be people that take it too far, but don't be mad just because someone says, oh my gosh, his abs look amazing. Like,
Sure.
he
It
showed
does
his
seem
abs. If no one said that your abs look amazing and you show your abs, you probably be like, dang, my abs look bad.
Yeah, that's definitely true too. He's like a shirtless pic and it's just crickets and you're like, whoops.
And people are like,
Funny.
oh my gosh, his eyes are pretty. And
Yeah.
people are going to be like, thank you for realizing that I just wanted people to like my eyes. Like, no, and they'll post videos of them like in the gym. Like the one guy was talking about the other guy, because in the music video, he was like showing his arm. And they were like, he was doing push-ups and bicep curls all day because he's self-conscious about his arms. And he wanted his arms to look big for the video shoot. So if people are on there like, oh, your arms look amazing, you look super buff, he's probably gonna be like, yes, it worked. But if people
Right.
are like, you're more than just your arms to me, like that's cool and all, but like at least give them a compliment. It doesn't have to be sleazy. Don't be like, rub your sweaty arm all over my body. Like, come on. Just saying that your arm looks good. There's nothing wrong. And people will get attacked. They will attack people because they're like, girl, he fine. I wish he wrapped them arms around me. That's like a regular comment. Okay, she
Sure.
wants a hug.
Right.
All she said she wanted was a hug. We all like a nice, strong hug. Makes you feel safe. Come on, people. So I had to even curate my BTS TikTok because I'm like, okay, these people are crazy. I don't want them. Can I just get like videos and news updates? Videos and news updates. TikTok is a crazy place. But at the same time, my mom has curated hers to where it's like DIY videos.
Sure. Yeah, and there's something for everyone like that. I get that. Like, and it's nice. And other people have commented about TikTok that you can curate it to be to your tastes and get rid of that stuff. So
But the fact is, it's still there, and those videos are still getting made every day.
The BTS thing, back to that, like there are people in army or whatever that are always sort of, they need to stick up for BTS and like defend them from something, and I'm
Well,
like,
that's like most army are like that because while they are crazy popular and super famous, there's always going to be like a lot of haters. And even I watched an interview with one of the people that he interviews BTS a lot during their press conferences. And he was talking about the amount of hate that BTS gets for within Korea, not even, outside of Korea, but within Korea, because they didn't go through the regular channels to become famous.
okay.
So some of the bigger agencies who are affiliated with big news channels, affiliated with big newspapers and web sites, they don't really like how BTS has been able to do it. So whenever BTS does something, they're like, oh, when BTS got the nomination for the Grammys, it wasn't BTS first Korean pop group to get nominated for a Grammy. BTS only gets nominated for one Grammy, even though they submitted for 20 categories. It's like, well, dang, can you just, they don't focus on like the positive, which is like sucky. And even when they do big things, it doesn't get a lot of news coverage there. Like, oh, he donated money. This one guy, one member donated $8 million to help children affected by violence in Tanzania. And it was no news coverage. But then some other guy in some lesser known group, Jay Park got out of a car and he was only wearing a t-shirt. It's interesting. So like armies are like, hey, that's how BTS that's how they got to be as famous, not from news channels hyping them up, but from just their fans online giving them so much attention that all these other sources couldn't ignore them. They're like, wow, they've got like 24 million fans on TikTok and they're the most like retweeted group. We should probably have them on our show.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know much about their history or whatever, or how they're treated in Korea. I guess there's all kinds of levels to that. Well, soon the world will know because they're, slowly invading more and more of the US culture. I feel like we live in LA where it's probably they're probably more well known than in a lot of other parts of the country at this point, but that's going to slowly change.
I feel like there are a lot of places in America that know a lot about BTS because even with their last tour, when they didn't even have a #1 single on Billboard yet, they sold out arenas in 30 minutes for 2 and 3 nights. And that was across America. And so I feel like people know them. Even like my little 10-year-old niece, she was just here and I had my phone was ringing. She was like, oh, that's a BTS ringtone. Auntie Daddy, that's a BTS ringtone. I was like, what? Danny, how you know? She was like, that's Butter. I was like, what? I love you.
That's cute.
I love the children. But we can continue your BTS education, Jacob. Just give me a time and a place.
No, we gotta go get the meal.
Okay, guys, let's talk about the BTS meal. So I went and I purchased the BTS meal, which consists of a 10-piece nugget, a Coke, which I substituted for a Sprite. Shout out to J-Hope. And a medium fry. And it came with the sweet chili sauce and a Cajun sauce. Like, okay, that's fine. I didn't know the price. They weren't advertising the price. I'm like, should be like $7, maybe. 10-piece nugget, medium fry, little drink, like $7. Why was this meal like $10.95? I'm like, isn't a 5-piece nugget $1? Couldn't I get 2 5-piece nuggets for $2 or $3? Couldn't I get a Coke? A drink of any size during the summer is $1, right? That's okay, $3, $4, okay. And a fry, medium fry, it's like $2.50. All right, that takes me to $6.50 if I was to put all these things together. It does not come with the toy, so the extra money is not going towards the toy. I did not get the special BTS cup packaging, the nugget packaging. I didn't even get the BTS bag. Like, come on. I'm like, my $10.95 should get me at least some BTS logoed bags. So in other locations, when you get the nuggets, it's like a purple container and it has like the BTS logo. It says BTS McDonald's. The bag has the BTS logo in purple, cup, purple BTS logo. But not here in Los Angeles.
Well, my friend went to McDonald's and he did not get the BTS meal, but they gave him BTS trash, like the bag, and I don't know if he got the cup, but he said that it came in a BTS bag, and I think he ordered 10-piece nuggets, but on their own. I think the nuggets came in the box. And I think I agree with you. I think $10.95 for a 10-piece nugget meal. It's just the 10-piece nugget meal that's a lot. I didn't know
a lot.
Any meals were even that. I mean, I thought like a double quarter pounder with cheese meal was like $8.99 or something like that. I mean, I know tax in LA is like 10% on fast food or something.
So that was the 95, but come on, it was a lot, and I'm hurt. Your friend got his all the merch, all the packaging.
Well, now I don't want it because I feel like I was like, oh, it can just be normal, but $11. Not that I like wouldn't spend that, but it just seems like a scam.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, you said, let's go get it. And I'm like, okay, I got it.
No.
I'm not gonna get it again because for one, I'm not gonna risk not getting the merch again. And I just tabulated it for you. We can get everything that was in that meal for like $7.
Right.
Save $3. We can save $3. And then they were running out of the sauces too. So I got the sauces. At least I got the sauces, but paying the extra money just so I get 2 different sauces. You know where they sell great sauce and you can get a whole bottle? Ralph's. Food section.
Were the sauces good?
Yeah, the sauces were really good. I actually ran out of sauce. I was like, oh man, I could have had a little bit more sauce with these nuggets.
Yeah, on a 10-piece nugget, 2 sauces is not enough for me. I need 3 sauces for a 10-piece for sure.
So did I. And it's like I like to support BTS, but one time me getting got with that meal, I'm not gonna get got again. And this thing is, a lot of people were expecting it to come with a photo card or like a little tiny tan. So BTS has a line of miniature cartoon character figures based off of their likenesses, and they're called Tiny Tan because they're Bangtan, and these are Tiny Tan.
Gotcha.
But I thought like a figurine. And when Beauty and the Beast came out, you got a figurine. Can I get like a little dog? J-Hope's a spin, like something.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird that it's just a 10-piece nugget meal and some purple garbage. Pretty much.
Mind you, people were saving those bags. People saved the bags. People saved the cups. People saved the nugget thing.
Right.
Because it's still BTS. But I feel like I wouldn't have been as hurt because I had prepared myself. No photo card, no toy. But I was like, I'm gonna have my BTS bag and my BTS like logos, food stuff. Mm-hmm. What can you do? I'll send a letter to McDonald's. Send a letter to Daniella. See if they get back to me. Cool. But they're also selling. Okay, so they're also selling BTS and McDonald's merch. So if you want to buy the food, you can just skip that and go straight and buy the merch.
Oh, like at McDonald's, you can buy merch?
You can buy it online.
Online.
McDonald's BTS merch. But I'm like,
gotcha.
I don't really want to support McDonald's like that.
Yeah, I feel ya.
I'm not a big fan of big fast food companies.
Right. No bueno.
Está no bien por tú.
No. Serving up trash since the 50s.
Exactly. Well, it was good back then. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. What is the movie called? Making It, Creator. Have you seen the movie? So there's a movie on Netflix about Founder. It's called Founder. It's about the start of McDonald's with the 2 brothers who started it off just trying to make something, and they were really smart and found a way to just assembly line cook this food so they can just pop it out And this other guy came in, saw what they were doing, and was like, whoa, this is a great idea. Let's franchise this. And they were like, I don't know. And they're like, come on, dude, you gonna make some money? And they're like, okay. And then they start franchising, but after a little while, he cut them out. He like,
Yeah.
I'll do y'all. I got y'all business model. I can go all over making my own money. Because they were kind of afraid to grow. They're like, we're growing too fast. We're
Yeah.
getting too many locations. And he was like, oh, y'all scared. Scared money don't make money. Let's go. And yeah, and they kind of got screwed.
Yeah.
But
Ray Kroc kind of sucks.
and
Yeah, I
then he
watched that movie.
that it was good. I was like, dang, this is why people have trust issues. This is why you don't share your business model. And then they just gave him the whole thing over a dinner. He was like, let me take you out to dinner and pick your brains. And they just shared all their secrets.
Yeah, like
Come
innocently.
on. And that I feel like, it was the time and being just trusting people. And he was a city slicker, fast talking city slicker.
Right. I
He
mean,
was
that's
like,
in any business. It's like the way that people get ahead, the way that people get rich is by screwing somebody over, That's just how it is. You learn that as an adult. You're like, people, very rarely is it like through honest, hard work and everything that people get ahead. That's very rare. People get ahead by taking advantage of the worker.
someone makes a lot and someone makes a little. Because, okay, case in point, Jeff Bezos has billions upon billions. His wife took half the money and he's still making. He like, I don't need that. I'll make 200 billion tomorrow, girl. And it's like crazy. And then you see, I don't know if you saw the viral video of the Amazon delivery driver. He kind of like had a little meltdown in the car. He was like, he's clearly going through something. But they have these crazy deadlines for delivering these packages where they don't even have time to go to the bathroom because they have to just keep, and they have to take a picture of where it's delivered. They try to get in people's gates. People like, oh, you delivered at my front door. I said the side door. And in your notes, she said front door. All these crazy expectations. And they're not making Jeff Bezos money. They're not making anywhere close to that. They're making like bare minimum in some places. But they're like constant in the car, no breaks, no rest, especially if you're driving around LA roads. Anyone who has to spend the whole day driving around LA, I feel for you. I don't even like driving when I have to go places.
I mean, I would do, I used to do, and I may have to do it again, but I was driving for Postmates DoorDash, and there is no bathroom breaks. The restaurants do not let the drivers use the restrooms, hardly ever. You'd have to like sneak in there. If you ask, they'd be like, no, like it's customers only. And you're like, I'm picking up food for the customer. No. So what are you supposed to do when you need to? So what Postmates and DoorDash expect you to do is that, if you need to go to the bathroom, you're going to like go home, So what? Well, yeah. So, but like that takes like what? You could be 25 minutes from your house. You got to drive all the way home, whatever. So then it's like your bathroom break is an hour of your day. You didn't make any money during that time, obviously, because you're only getting paid when you're taking deliveries. It's just another way to scam people. It really sucks, and it just is degrading because you're like, I can't use a bathroom anywhere. I peed outside in parking lots in LA. I peed in bottles in my car. I just like had to do it. I was just like, I have to pee so bad right now, and these people won't let me use the bathroom. I'm just gonna pee behind this tree, like where a homeless person would, or behind the building. Hope that I don't get stopped by a police officer too. Granted, I'm a white driver, right? Most of the people who are driving are people of color. If they're caught pissing outside in a parking lot, who knows what can happen? It's like, dude, F this.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I've been talking about this for a long time, how LA, not even just LA, but California in general, we need public restrooms. We need more public. It does not make sense that a city this big, you can't go to the public. And like so many places where you would want to go to the bathroom, they have codes on the door. What are you supposed to do? Yeah, you can ask for a code, but
right.
It's hard. It's hard, especially if you're in a pinch. But there should be like, okay, every so often on this road or every other mile, we on a public street, there's a public bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it doesn't have to be the fanciest, or like, okay, here's a park, here's a bathroom.
I mean, actually, compared to the rest of the country, LA has a lot, seemingly. I mean, if you go, sure, because look, if you go down to the beaches or all the parks here pretty much have restrooms, like Griffith, they're
Okay.
everywhere and stuff like that. If you go to Minneapolis or Detroit too, or even here, like they have the booths downtown and stuff, and they did start putting some porta potties like under the bridges where the homeless
I did
people are.
notice that.
Mhm.
I'm happy that they did that
So
because
all that stuff doesn't exist anywhere else. And the booths downtown too, like those are free. They have like sliding doors. Or like when we were at the park the other day shooting the short film, remember? And the lead actor guy was like, those bathrooms were like space age. No.
That is true. That is true at the parks.
But there should be more. There should be more. You're right. Like I don't disagree with that at all. There should be more of them. And for those Amazon drivers, like I at least was going into businesses that did have restrooms. So occasionally, or like if you go into a McDonald's to pick up an order, you could figure it out. I had to pee in a parking lot a couple times, but eventually I'd get to a bathroom. But as an Amazon driver, they're just going to people's doors. No. There's no bathrooms anywhere for them. What do they do?
It's like, and I feel like now, like the friendliest place where you can use a bathroom is like a Ralph's. But, so, okay, I was going hiking in Malibu. A lot of these places, because of COVID, don't let you use the bathroom there.
Right.
A lot of the grocery stores have now made it where no, it's just for workers at the bathroom. Right. Even as a customer, you can't use the bathroom there because of COVID.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. So yeah, you're really kind of screwed. There you go. Find a park. And parks are not everywhere. That's tough. The parks are not everywhere. It's still LA. It's still Cement City. It's tough. But then, Jeff Bezos, why don't you invest in putting in some community?
Totally. They can say Amazon on them and be great.
Exactly. They're sponsored. You got an Amazon vending machine out front.
Totally.
Just take 1 billion, just 1 billion. Just
1 billion for bathrooms. I like it.
1 billion for bathrooms. Help the drivers out.
Danielle, we gotta end this podcast soon because I have to do an audition and stuff. But I will have fun. This was very fun. We had a great chat today, actually, I think. Very informative.
So we gotta say, all right, you guys, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to the Internet Anytime Podcast.